We're here in Philadelphia. Ezekiel's, and I take it you are Zeke?
Yeah, Ezekiel's Music and Culture.
Pan in on that, Randy, will you?
Okay, now I see it.
All right, we're here at Ezekiel's Music and Culture, Philadelphia. This is 4th Street, right?
Yes.
Yep, 4th and South Street, one of the greatest places in the world to be. Ezekiel's Music and Culture, here with Zeke, proprietor, and got to talking, quickly found out the man was in McRad, FOD, and what was the other band? Let's start at the beginning, I guess. Your first punk band was what?
First punk band was Flag of Democracy.
Okay.
FOD. And then...
and what'd you do in FOD?
I played bass.
Okay, so you've always been a bass player? Is that pretty much the main thing that you do in the punk world?
In the punk world, it was mainly bass. Yeah.
Gotcha. And
in McRad also, I played bass.
And so, what happened where you were out of FOD and they continued on, and then you went into McRad? How'd that?
Oh,
is there any good story there?
Yeah, there's a good story.
Okay.
I quit, then they kicked me out.
Cool, cool.
First I quit. No, it was a long time ago when we were young kids, and I guess the reality of the situation was that I wanted to do something like McRad.
Yeah.
And I went, and Ethan, the singer of McRad, was also in FOD. He was like the manager of people at the gigs. He also worked with this band called Crib Death. It's not a fun name right now because I have children.
Yeah, but back 20 years ago, 25 years ago, it's fine. Yeah.
They actually changed their name to the Blunder Boys. But so he like managed bands, and when we left FOD, me and him left the band together, and we started McRad. And I knew Chuck from Chuck Treese from skateboarding at Cherry Hill Skateboard Park, and then he moved. He lived in Delaware, and then he moved to Philadelphia. And when he moved to Philadelphia, he connected with us because he knew us from back in the skateboard.
And that's all skating in New Jersey?
Yeah, Cherry Hill.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Cool.
And he was coming over to Steve I's house, who did all the shows at Love Hall, which did all the shows at Y Die, FOD, Flag and Mark, all the bands, HR, everybody, you know, Minor Threat, whoever was coming through, Iron Cross. And it was actually Steve I and Bruce, this guy Bruce. His name was Bruce Momich. Bruce Momich. They used to tease him because they'd say, Bruce, does your mom itch? But Bruce Momich, that's how I remember.
I have to grab the McRad. Can you grab that more?
And then there was this Howard Saunders.
We gotta pan in on this because this is the man's 80s cred, as it were.
Yeah, sure. So anyway, the bottom line was they did shows at Love Hall, and we played there, and then I just after Flag of Democracy, we just started McRad. We met Chuck again. Chuck would come over to the house, and we had a little jam space downstairs.
Right.
And when putting McRad together, me and Ethan were looking for musicians, and Chuck was obviously, even then, he was a great musician. And this other youth, Tristan, who was from Amsterdam, who worked at Skins, the punk rock store, he was also a musician, and we got them together, and we all started playing, and then McRad came to.
And you are on some of the early recordings that came out on the CD back in like 01, I guess. It's on Uprising, I think.
You know what? A lot of this stuff that I'm on, I don't know about because it came out later after the band. The band basically broke up. The original band. There's been all types of incarnations of McRad, but the original band was the original band that actually made it over the hump and got notoriety. Was the Chuck Treese, Ezekiel Zagar, Tristan Renier, and Ethan Jarvis. And then a lot of stuff has come out with different incarnations.
Right. Always Chuck.
No, one time it wasn't Chuck.
Oh, okay.
One time it was me, Timmy, and Michael Petta. And then I asked Chuck to join again. And he came back from California. When he came back, and he did join again. And then me and him decided that we didn't like it because it wasn't the original flavor.
Right.
And then after that, I was ready to let it go because it was about 1986. Actually, we did it again in 1986. And after that, I was ready to let it go because punk rock was getting a you know, a bad rep on TV. It was like, you know, skinheads, and
Right.
it was getting like, you know, it wasn't anything like it was in the get-go. And the way TV was explaining it was not my interest. And by that time, we were all getting pretty good at music, and we were just into music itself. It didn't have to be labeled punk.
So did you play punk after that, or have you sort of like drifted into the world of reggae more so?
Well, you know, it's harder to say that I could ever leave the punk rock roots. I think they're with me with anything that I do. The reggae music, the fusion music, the rock, the whatever. It
Right.
all has those punk rock roots.
Did you get a lot of you're an entrepreneur now, and you've got your own business. Did you get a lot of the DIY, you know, hey, I'm gonna go do this myself from punk rock, or is it just, man, I'm gonna get a business going?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. The whole vibe of punk rock is you can do it yourself. You don't need to go to anybody, and that's been my MO since then. And actually, the energy of punk rock, that energy has stayed with me the whole time. That
Right on.
doing it yourself. I think right now, I'm being more punk rock than I've ever been
Yeah.
by doing this business, you know, or the energy of like going and doing it yourself. In a sense, the essence was what you said, going and doing something yourself, and not
Right on.
having. And now I see a lot of punk rock getting, you know, mixed up with a lot of big business,
Uh-huh.
and it's
It's
not,
not punk.
It's not punk. You know?
Now you put out the Ezekiel CDs yourself, or what's
Yeah.
the story? Okay.
Yeah, well,
So you're doing it yourself still.
Still doing it myself. Yeah.
And now you've gone down and played Jamaica, you were saying, or you had mentioned a festival that you go and play?
No. I play with the Cannabis Cup band. It's the High Times Magazine's band.
Yeah.
And they do. The High Times Magazine does a Cannabis Cup in Amsterdam, and so
Right.
they had a band to be the Cannabis Cup band, and they backed me on my Ezekiel record. But
Oh, okay.
the Ezekiel record, the Love and War record,
Uh-huh.
was backed by Gil Scott-Heron's band,
Uh-huh.
the actual record, and Horsemouth was in it. There's a lot of great musicians on it.
Right
There's
on.
like 17 musicians, but the original band that backed up that record doesn't do the backing for the shows. It's the Cannabis Cup band that does it.
Gotcha. Let's make it a wrap, man. That was informative.